Welcome to Booth Talk. I'm here with Jacob HORNE.
Hello, good to be back. Good to be back.
So Jacob, you just got back from a film festival, right?
Yeah, we had in April.
Just got back.
Maybe not.
Yeah, you were there on foot though. You walked.
We did walk. That's why it took us so long. It was in Adrian, Michigan. It actually was about a 2-hour drive.
Okay.
For us. So yeah, it would have been quite the walk if we took it. But it was the first in-person festival that we've had since like February 8th.
So that
2020. Let me back up. February 8th, 2020.
So these are the first post-COVID.
Yeah, I would
festival.
Also not counting drive-in festivals.
How many festivals
because some did kind of convert to that.
How many festivals were you in? Because you had this done well before COVID, right? Just before.
It was honestly like right before.
Was it January?
It was January 25th is when we like finished it.
Yeah,
that's when it's called as finished, released. It was so that way we could have it really as a 2020 release.
What a shitty 2020 you had. You went like crazy with festivals that you couldn't go to, and then you turned 21.
I know.
Like you turned 21, I think, like the week after COVID lockdowns.
No, man, the week of.
The week
was
of,
my Friday because I remember
14th. Yeah, and then you're the 18th, correct?
20th.
20th. Okay.
The Friday.
20th,
yeah. March 20th. Yeah, they closed all the the bars were like locked down, and it was at like the very very beginning of COVID. So it was like a very like everybody. We all remember how that was like. Yeah. That first week was a bit like, what's happening?
It was definitely
like is this Contagion, the movie?
I was
a
bit shocked myself. I was delivering pizzas at the time, so my life didn't change at all.
Yeah, you guys actually got an uptake.
We got busier
in business,
and that's what was concerning for me was because everyone's like, can't go outside, you can't leave your house, can't do this, can't do that. Oh, but you, Brennan, you may go door to door. You can
every day
knock on everyone's door, and we were like, and this was the funniest thing was when I did delivery because I did it for like I think 2.5 years, 3 years total, with like 6 months of it being of COVID. Mm-hmm. When I did it, there was entirely before COVID. I would be, banging on the doors. Couldn't get these people to answer the door. No one answers the door. You call before doesn't matter. They don't answer the door.
No matter what, they're avoiding you.
Yeah, it takes forever to get them, or it takes them just forever to answer it. Mm-hmm. And then during COVID, when they tell us, just leave it on the porch, and knock. Just leave it on the porch. Yeah. No contact. I don't even get like my foot on the porch and the door swings open and they rip it out of my hands. And I'm just like,
where was this for years?
Yeah, exactly.
It's just automatically put on there. I do the same bullshit. I'll stand by the door and wait for them to put it down because I know that's what they want.
But I mean, like this was the beginning of COVID though. This was like first, like when it first started.
First week.
I was like, guys, like where was this energy?
Where was this for years?
I've been dying for this. Now, no. Yeah. Don't do this. You're sick. You're in. You can't be trusted. Get away from me.
Social distance. Get back.
Yeah. Now I don't want you right in my face. Yeah. No. That was. And we made a little bit more money.
Hopefully more in-person things happen because now
slowly
we're getting there. I think. Depending on the state of the viewers, us in Michigan's starting to lift a lot of restrictions. So
I'm actually going to Florida on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And
that'll
I tell
be
you,
fun.
if I end up having to wear a mask in Florida more than I had to wear a mask in Michigan,
I don't think that's going to be the case.
But if I do, I saw a picture. Like I was like looking online at pictures and saw people wearing a mask, and I was like, my mind will be blown because everything I know will be a lie.
Yeah. No, that's right, because up here it's like Florida, they ain't done nothing. They haven't done anything. Yeah.
And I go down there, and it's just like the cleanest, like most, health conscious,
health orientated.
Yeah, like just
they got guys spraying the streets still,
constantly spraying just like nonstop. Yeah, that'd blow my mind.
It'd be quite a culture shock.
It would be. I would be like, I honestly wouldn't even know what to think because I'd be like. I mean, obviously, first on my mind is like the news lied, but every news, even
Florida news,
even they themselves lied.
They lied about themselves.
We're not wearing masks down here, and you come down there, you guys are clean. What is this? It's perfect. Anyway, so back to neutrals. All right, so it's been doing fantastic. How many festivals is it in?
Right now, 33.
Wow.
That's how many we've been in.
Goodness.
Yeah, which is
congratulations.
Very good. Thank you.
Nice.
And we still have a lot to hear back from hopefully, again, some of these, the ones we're going to hear back from now, it's ridiculous because, again, going back to COVID, a lot of these festivals were delayed, especially ones that wanted to keep in person. And there's 2 Michigan ones that I appreciate for doing that. Hell's Half Mile and Vidlings.
Oh, nice.
We're not accepted into them, so I'm not like plugging them here. Yeah. But they are ones that I'm submitted to and would like to get into. But we submitted to them.
If you guys want more praise, you know what to do.
Exactly. If you select my movie, I will go there. I will go there, and I will try to bring other cast and crew members. So, just saying, they like that. They like that.
I will also go.
Yeah, I went with Adrian real quick. I went up there with Josh Brockett, actually. So the 2 of us went up there. So
Josh Brockett, nice. One of the stars and the editor.
Yeah, a very rare duo.
Has that ever happened? Just in terms of just not like directing and also writing, but just editing and acting.
I saw one movie actually, Dark Star. From the mid-'70s.
I like the title.
It was John Carpenter's first movie.
Okay.
And it was a student film that got out of hand, and then he ended not out of hand.
Don't they all?
They all do, but it didn't get out of hand. It he was making it, and then someone was like, "Oh, we'll give you a lot more money. Just make it a movie. Make it feature length."
Wait,
hold on. No, it's a bit. Wait. Hold up. Here's the thing. You say this, but Brennan, it's a bit different because back then, he had to, you got to think about now, anybody can make a movie. So it's like these production houses, they just have the cameras and all that. So when it comes to that, they see there is a guy making a movie for cheap and he has all of his shit already. Okay, we can make a movie out of this and get a buck.
I can understand.
They didn't give him a ton of money. That's the other thing.
I can understand that, I guess.
No, I know.
But just put in okay, first off, I don't want to say my student film, I did not have any desire to extend it or make it longer. It was 7 minutes.
It was also a 4-year university, so it was his final year.
But just put in little contrast, little comparison. This man was making his student film, one of those classic examples where you're making your student film. It's not even finished. You're just making it. And people come up to you and go, here's some more money. We're going to make this. We're going to make this bigger. First off, the concept of more money. When I was making my student film, I didn't even have the concept of money down, let alone more money.
What's a budget?
Yeah. My budget is what I made this week, and what hasn't.
And then next week,
and what the bank doesn't take from me, what doesn't disappear. But so he was off to extend it, whereas we were told strictly, if once that timer reaches 10 minutes, your film will stop. Hopefully it makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I think it's you either make it 10-minute or an hour and a half. You got nothing else. 10 or less, hour and a half.
Really, I guess we honestly, in hindsight, should have made it a feature film at MPI.
Which one?
For the last one.
No,
who cares?
I would not have wanted.
If they only showed 10 minutes, what do I care? I had the free crew. I had everything I needed.
People already make them feature films with being told to make 10 minutes. So imagine what 5-hour epic somebody would turn in.
No, I'm saying just myself.
Oh, just yourself, nobody else. I understand.
I mean, not to say that
What you could have done is you could have made each film be part of the feature film, so that way your non-dialogue, dialogue, and thesis all one film.
Idea. That's how I almost came up with the idea. I was for the feature that I wrote was originally it was going to be 3 separate short stories, and I was like, why don't you just keep going?
Combining them.
And now, if you combine these, now you've got one kind of long story, and it's got to go somewhere, right?
Exactly. Hopefully.
Yeah. But it did. But,
and I guess with low-budget feature talk, that is kind of the hope with neutrals eventually.
Okay,
to find that magic, to find that magic donor that can give
investor,
money.
If you will.
Angel investor, if you will. However, I want to have a first draft of the script. I'm working on a second draft that is a page 1 rewrite because it's very different from the first one. Ironically, the first draft was more different than the short film than the second draft is. With the second draft, I'm kind of going back and being like, no, you got to make it more like the short film, not less. Because that was kind of my idea with the first go around. The short film was so small, you got to add on more. And then I've kind of determined, no, you just got to inflate that short film.
Yeah, that's kind of I think that's what they kind of do when people usually take it from short to long.
That's what I've been noticing, like with Saw, Napoleon Dynamite, movies that started as short films and became like low budget features. They don't take the short and then try to add on like more story ideas. They just take like, okay, what is everything we mentioned in 15 minutes?
What did the people like 10 minutes?
Exactly.
For 10 minutes.
Exactly.
Okay, now do that. We're going to put that in loop for 90
Basically,
minutes.
like those. Okay, we have 100 ideas in 10 minutes. We're gonna use those 100 ideas again. We're just gonna maybe do more.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't exactly know what budget I would like. Obviously, I'd like, high ball and low budget. $1 million is like the insano dollar number for me. That's the like absolute somehow like lottery ticket. But again, with the feature film, I want to try, taking it to MPI and like sitting down with some of the administration and being like, I know you funded movies. How? Yeah. Tell me how. I don't even care I don't even care if you don't give me connections. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. Just tell me like, what is the strategy?
What do you do?
Exactly. Because that's kind of the wall we all run into, because
in
a way, you know what to do. You got to ask people for money, but
tell me what words I should say.
Ooh, yeah,
and tell me what the people describe to me these people. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I know they have it. Maybe not it. You may have to talk to 4 of them to piece
Call
it all
up one of the Warner brothers.
Yeah, exactly. Call up Jack Warner. But yeah, so that's the hope,
Well,
and then
if there's an angel investor listening, imagine being able to say, I funded Reservoir Dogs, Tarantino's first movie.
Yeah,
that's what you could say 30 years from now about Neutrals.
We hope so. It's going to air on TV pretty soon. So I don't think we actually talked about that on camera yet. So I guess I can go into this. The short film now, kind of hopping back from the clouds of the future to the present. Neutrals is part of a festival called Rock the Shorts Festival, and I want to actually give them a shout out because they've actually been a good festival, because they were going to be in person and then they weren't, so it was a bit like bummer.
Yeah.
Their solution though is they partnered with Shorts TV, the only internationally broadcasted short film specific television network channel.
Okay.
So Neutrals is going to be screening there now.
Okay, so
what
TV or providers have this channel? Where can we
so
watch this?
DirecTV, AT&T, and Google Fiber do have it. Unfortunately, Comcast does not.
Okay.
Like Xfinity does not.
But do they have a website?
Carry it. They have a website, and on the website you can get an app. I'm not sure about the app's compatibility with like Roku or Prime or Apple TV, but they do have an app.
It's out there.
It's out there at minimum.
You can find it if you want to find it.
And if your grandma still has cable, go over to her house and watch it.
Oh, so it is on like basic cable?
Like DirecTV, AT&T. If you have a cable set up there through them.
Other than Comcast, which if you have Comcast, like
what
you've got enough problems.
But the festival was very communicative to us.
That's
because
great.
they needed a lot from me, because it's going to air on TV. So I had to go through, and this was a couple of annoying days, because I had to go through the movie, and they needed sound like a transcript of every sound, essentially, like every piece of music, when it began, when it ended, who wrote it, who owns it, and that was a big hassle, because we had evidently 14 songs, so I had to keep track of where all that played. And then the most annoying thing was subtitles. I had to go through and do the official subtitle way, which I don't know if you guys know how you do it. You have to listen to the movie. You have to, in each line of dialogue, you write out its time code of starting, then its time code of ending, and then you write the line. And then you have to do that for every line. And the time codes are, when I say, I mean like as simple as I have to do like hour 00, minute 00, second 30.0, not that, like, it's annoying.
Yeah, that doesn't sound
and every single line. And then of course
when doing
that, I'm like, wow, this is a very dialogue heavy movie. And it didn't follow the script either, so it's not like I could just cheat and look at the script. Even then, you need the time code.
As you're doing
we have a lot of improv. No, I mean,
Based on like $30.
I could have. I guess I could have. That's what I'm going to do in the future now, go on to Fiverr. Instead, I spent like a whole night just sitting there, just pausing, playing, going back with the file.
That
Headache.
sounds.
But, like I said, they gave me extra time to do that because
Yeah.
I missed the deadline.
At least they were, helpful because all
and
the
then
extra circumstances,
exactly.
in
And
these
I mean,
difficult,
I
trying,
even
uncertain times.
Well, I mean, I let them know because I was like, I don't know, I realistically like don't know what they deal with. Like, I don't know when they get a short film normally. Is that short film made by like a production house?
Yeah.
So they already have subtitles ready. So I let them know. I'm like, I'm working full time. It is just me. Like I don't have a team. I'm the one doing this.
There are no people contacting your people.
Exactly. It is me.
Behind.
Like in every email, when I say we, that's a lie. There is no we.
Yeah.
It is me.
Yeah,
when I say we are so excited.
The gang's really working hard here.
Yeah.
trying to figure this out.
So that is July 29th at 10 p.m.
It'll be airing.
At 10 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Pacific Time. It will be airing.
Now
We are the 7th film in that block.
Okay,
it
so
is a
it's-
block that starts at 10
Starts at 10
p.m.
Okay, I was just saying, you got the 10 p.m. spot. I was like,
No. It starts at 7 p.m. Pacific Time.
Okay.
So it's only just because we're on the East Coast that it's at 10. But we're the 7th film that's going to be screened. And we are also nominated for Best Short Thriller. So hopefully we get that. If not, I'm still, a nomination's a nomination.
Yeah,
Shows
no,
that they thought of
definitely.
you. And then also for Neutrals, it's kind of crazy because it's like a dark comedy, but it gets a lot of like thriller
yeah.
awards as
Definitely.
well. And like the LA Punk Film Festival gave us Best Thriller. So like it's interesting how it can fall into, I mean, I guess it really just comes down to like, did they find it more funny or more thrilling?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see what festivals look at it as like they
Because
go for the funny and
You
then
get to
what
see how
ones
sick
go
people
for the
are,
thrill.
Like, oh, did you find humor in this, you sick bastard?
Yeah, I mean,
You know?
I've had
You
people
found this amusing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like murder is like treated for laughs at a few
Yeah.
points in the movie. So,
Well,
but that's
I mean, you open with it. It's the opening
exactly.
gag.
An accidental murder is the opening.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's great. Love it.
Yeah, so that's Rock the Shorts Festival.
July 29th.
And it's on Shorts TV, July 29th. So
Excellent.
that's that.
Excellent. So you're in the process of writing the feature script out.
Mm-hmm.
How's that going then? I mean, like you're saying that.
I'll admit I'm a bit slower than I would like. I really go in a lot of spurts. Like right now I'm at about 40 pages, and it'll happen where one week will be real good, and I'll get like 10 to 15,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next week I'm kind of like sitting at the computer, half a page,
What's
one
your-
page, 2 page.
What's your creative
you know.
process? How do you think out of a story?
With writing, especially, I just kind of go with like a rough outline. I really let a lot stew in my head
Mm-hmm.
before I like to write it down because I like to let the good ideas kind of survive.
When do you do your best thinking?
Normally it just kind of comes to me. Driving is normally when they really hit. Like just some,
I
just
feel a
some,
lot of
just some
writing and driving.
Yeah,
that
just
I
some,
shouldn't have.
Yeah, exactly. Like just something odd about it. Like when you're driving, I think it's like, it's gonna sound weird, but like the momentum of the car, momentum of a movie, a story just going forward, and you're just
For me, driving
know,
is a good time to close my eyes. and
not think of the surroundings.
put my hand, stretch my arms out.
Yep.
Don't
Eat,
gotta-
text, make some phone calls.
Just not really think about the world in general.
No.
Yeah.
No. But and then the actual writing comes down to like, I mean, with writing itself, there's really nothing you can do other than like sit and write it. You got to just find your time and sit
Yeah.
and do it. And I guess that's kind of where I run into some walls is finding that time. And
But
then sometimes when we get that time, we don't.
Do you
use it
sit
as
down
much as
without
we
an
would.
outline, or do you? Because I usually have to have an outline.
I usually have an
Depending on
outline.
the-
I
it
would
depends
say
on the length of story.
the neutrals feature. I do have an outline.
Yeah.
It's about like a full 11-page outline, and then it's basically like each scene is like 3 lines.
Yeah.
Just blah 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 does blah blah blah, blah
Yeah.
blah blah does blah blah blah, and then we learn this maybe. That's about it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
And then here and there, I always, sometimes it will happen, and I'm sure you've had this happen, where you're writing, and then suddenly you just think of like another scene or element, and then even though it's not in the outline, you just fit it in.
Yeah.
You figure out how.
Yeah, there's so many times where I'm like, you could be on page 4 and you're like, you know what? They gotta have a limp now.
Yep, exactly.
They gotta have. Where'd the limp come in? I gotta say that they walked with a limp on page 30.
Yep.
They ran. Well, they can't run anymore. Shit. They can run, but it's gotta be difficult.
Exactly. Next thing you know, you're just going back. Because it's like, and it's another one of those where you're like, I could just finish the script without a limp, then add it later. And it's like, it'll be a bigger headache to add it in later than to just go back and do it now. You
know what the best is when you go and I find this often when I send someone a script to like read, because I don't read. I often I'll write it and then I can't just reread it. I can't do that. I just can't do it. I'll send it to someone else. I want them to give me just like, this is a pile of shit, Brennan. Come up with something better. That's what I need to hear. Other than I just can't read it. But it, I forgot where I was going with this. But it just.
No. We'll get this point.
I remember.
I don't know if I want to talk about this anymore. No. We'll get this.
But then what happens is I do all these different drafts, or I come up with these different ideas, and then like as they're reading it, they're like, "Brent, how many different scripts are in here? How many different versions of the script are in here?" I'm like, "Oh wait, yeah." Like someone's got a different name.
Yep.
Someone's spelled differently over here. They
talk about a chain of events that is no longer there.
This comes up, but this never came up ever again. And where does this kind of just seems like a dead end. What's this just random? And one time, this is I'm going to name drop this is Celtex. For all you great, Celtex is fantastic if you don't want your script to be formatted correctly when you send it out, I guess. Because when I sent mine into a competition, I sent it to a competition and they're going to critique it. And I sent it out to them, and they're like, I read back the review, and they're like, at one point, they're like, and at some point, there's just like 3 blank pages. I don't know if that was intentional.
Yeah, it was for dramatic effect.
Oh, damn it.
It was to make you...
It's called holding a beat, okay?
It's a really long beat they hold.
Don't you get it?
Just each, and in the center of the page, it's all blank in the center. Beat. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't get it. It's
like when a book starts off edgy by doing something like that. Chapter 1, all blank.
I just replied and I said this is very telling about this whole project or this whole contest in general that you guys don't understand.
That you don't get my art.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Jesus,
I will never submit anything to you again.
I only write exclusively in Prague, whatever that means. Like
in Prague.
I go there. City? I go. Yep. Okay. I go there. There's a coffee shop. I sit down. I only write there. Wow. I only write there. And if I'm being honest, I don't get much done.
If you watch those, if you watch any of those master classes where the directors put them on, that's kind of what they say.
Is it?
Like they don't say stuff that's helpful to the little guy. They're like, listen, you got to isolate yourself. So what I did is I bought a New York, Manhattan apartment that is barren 300 days of the year, and then I go in there, lock myself in, and it's like I can't do that. I got to go to work Monday. Like, I'm sorry, Scorsese.
You just got to dedicate.
I failed you.
You've got to be dedicated to it. For me, it's all about finding peace and quiet. So I bought a yacht.
Exactly.
And I sailed out.
And 6 months out of the year, I sail around, and when I come back, I have a script and a budget.
I decided to go to the Bermuda Triangle because I can't even get cell service. They'll just distract me. I would,
that's how they come across sometimes,
really,
and it's I get that's your guys' method now, but us watching it.
Or what drives me nuts is I'll go on now. It's TikTok that I'll go on because and I'm only singling out TikTok because that's just where people are posting videos now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be watching, follow me for more tips on how to become a screenwriter. For more, and it's just like. And the tips they give you is like, just keep on writing. Just keep writing. Some people get discouraged and blah, blah, blah. You can't get discouraged. Just keep writing. I'm like, how about you tell me who to fucking send the goddamn script to? How about you tell me that, Greg?
I know.
All right?
Dude,
you want to be so fucking helpful.
I'm in so many screenwriting Facebook groups, and it's always funny when you can tell I don't want to say a kid or someone maybe a little not heartbroken yet. they're like, hey, does anyone know how to send a script to Netflix? Where's the email for this? It's like, there's exactly. Let me just grab the email. I know we all have the Netflix. It's Netflix at netflix.com. Everybody, okay? I just spoil.
It's like when you find out that like someone still believes in Santa, and you're just like,
yeah, exactly.
Someone get him. Hold on.
No, that was in middle school. The one kid in middle school still believed in Santa. It's like, dude, come on, you're like 13 now, bro. Like, you got to know he's not real. That's right. Sorry to any of our children viewers who just found out Santa's not real.
You know, the shame, though, is that, like, I wish that I could still go back to when Santa
age restricted.
Because, it's so much more of a fun experience when you're like, oh, it's Santa. I can get anything. And then because then you can also blame Santa when you don't get what you want. It was before, then when you realize it's your parents, you're like, I got to keep my mouth shut now. Oh, I guess you didn't read the list. You know? No, I just wrote it down. Anyway, you know, there was like this, I think I was like 6 years old. I recall there being this, I don't even know what it was. It was like, it was Power Rangers. I wasn't even into Power Rangers, but there was this great toy. It was like 5 Power Rangers. Like, it was like, you know, when they combine into a giant
when
Power
they
Ranger?
make the Megazord.
This thing was like a giant thing. It was like when I was
what, 3 feet tall?
It was like 3 feet tall. It was like I was with my grandmother when I saw it because she went to Sam's Club, so we had to see, these weird toys you didn't find. I guess.
Yes, like Sam's Club and Costco they would always have like the different toys. Yeah, you couldn't get it at a Walmart or Target or even Toys R Us.
Yeah, you just didn't find this in a normal place. And I remember just being like, I want that. And you know, you're thinking like, all right, I've said it to myself. I've said it out loud at least. Mm-hmm. That's enough.
Yeah.
This motherfucker's watching me 24/7. This guy knows when I'm sleeping. I just say I want this. He's got me. When I told everyone to go fuck off the other week, he heard that. So I know he heard me say that.
Yeah, that one left an impact.
And when I didn't get it, I was like...
Maybe because you told him fuck off, he decided to just not hear that. Maybe. Oh, Brennan wants socks and underwear?
He's like, and we're muting Brennan now. But yeah, I was like, when I didn't get it, I was like, okay.
I see how it goes.
So maybe you're not on top of your game like you said you were. You know, maybe you're not like... really.
But before, when it was Santa, it's like, he didn't hear me that time. You know, He's listening to every other kid in the world. I get it. You know,
busy man. He's
working. Around the clock.
But then when you think to yourself, you know, I guess if I'm a kid, or you know, obviously I was a kid, so I didn't think this. But like using my logic now, if I could bring that back to when I was 4, the first time you don't get something you wanted and you behaved.
Yeah.
Then it's either Santa is not real or this whole concept of exactly though. This whole concept of that he's watching me 24/7. This motherfucker hasn't got eyes like that.
Well, that's why whenever
he's not paying attention like that.
That's why whenever Santa's in a movie, they try to figure out some way no, he's not watching you. He's got like CCTV surveillance cams in your room in your bathroom.
If the message ain't getting to the old man, what does it matter?
He's just taking the credit. Look, we should have known it was fake when it was
you understand what I'm saying? He's not hearing me. I said I want. Was it Megazord?
Brennan, do you have Brennan? I think this is actually like
North Pole.
No, I think this is like some Freudian slippage here, and you're actually just talking about you're screaming out for God, not Santa. I think that's what's going on. He doesn't hear me. I mean, he never hears me.
If we're being honest, they're kind of the same. They got the same.
It's the same principle.
They've got the same principle, except God is like
Santa did not send his son to die for us.
Santa didn't send his son to die for us.
But he did send
He
Rudolph.
also doesn't punish us, really.
Well, he does. He gives coal.
Does he, though? Because he doesn't have to give you anything.
No, but he gives the bad kids coal.
First off, coal.
No parent's ever done that.
The coal industry? Not even, first off, now the coal industry, you could still probably get some money for coal. Because there's still, it's still around. Mm-hmm. You know, it's not as good, but it's still around. But back when
criticizing modern coal?
I'm saying, but back when the legend started, coal was, I feel like a hot commodity. You know?
Maybe it was, but it's a rock for a kid.
That's why the coal. I guess I was going to say oil tycoons, but they were coal tycoons. The coal barons.
Yeah.
You know, they were the bad kids because they saved up their coal.
You're right. That was their first investment. They sold off that first pile, bought another pile.
Kids, you want to make money?
Own the factory, coal.
Save the coal that Santa brings you.
Ask Santa for coal.
Coal mining company.
No, be a good boy and girl, and then ask for coal.
Ooh.
because then he'll give you even more.
You think so?
Yeah, because if you want it. No, exactly.
What if though he stops though? What if he's like, wait a second?
Santa starts to make profit on the coal.
Yeah, he's like, wait a second.
He starts catching on.
You think Santa sells our data?
Oh, totally.
You know, because like if he's watching.
So Santa, religion, and our government are all very similar, really, if we think about it.
They're all really, yeah.
They all. I wonder if they all.
None of them pay taxes.
I wonder if they're all. Oh.
None of them pay taxes.
Money bags. He's got like a counter of his money as it's just like growing.
That's a Christmas movie. Santa realized he could turn a profit.
Wasn't that? Didn't that happen in Santa Claus 3? But it was the Martin Short character. It's like, yo, you can make a shit ton of money off being Santa.
Was that what happened?
So he goes back in time and like kills Santa.
Wasn't Martin Short Jack Frost?
Yeah, that's the thing though. But in the Santa Claus continuity, if you murder Santa, you become Santa.
Oh.
So he went back in time, murdered Santa. Tim Allen wasn't Santa then. Because Tim Allen accidentally murdered the first Santa. It's okay, we forgive him because it was an accident.
Right.
It's okay, we forgive him because it was an accident.
I mean, people still go for manslaughter, but...
Exactly. Look,
know.
we forgave the real-life incident of him having cocaine in his butt in the 80s at the Detroit airport.
Did he go to jail for that?
He did. So Tim Allen, he went to jail.
Did we forgive it then, or did he just do
He's a reformed man. He's Buzz Lightyear.
No, I mean, I'm not saying that like he's not reformed. I'm just saying, like, did we forgive him, or did he just do the thing we told him to do to be okay?
I think. I mean, even then, I don't think. I think when he got busted with it, it was like pre-acting and everything. So I guess there was really no forgiveness.
Worst time to get busted.
Really, actually, yeah. Because if he was like,
if he got busted for cocaine now, it'd be
he'd be nothing. He'd be walking out tomorrow.
Yeah, it'd be no issue.
Yeah, Cosby can walk out. So yeah, I guess that's fucked.
Did you hear about? Well, you heard about why he got let out.
I did not. I just heard he did, and it's.
Well, first off, it's obviously it's very fucked up that he's out. And, he should be, because what he did obviously is horrible, and he did it
for years.
Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That being said, him being out is because they told him in like 2005, come and testify in the trial. It's civil. We won't use it criminally if you testify. And he's like, okay. And then they're like, kidding.
They used it criminally.
And then the Supreme Court was like, you can't do that.
Damn, that sucks.
And it's like, so the thing is, like, the real thing is you shouldn't have offered him immunity.
Yeah, it was a real legal loophole. Still a bullshit legal loophole,
but since you did offer him immunity, which you shouldn't have, you definitely can't take it back, because if they take it back for him, who is guilty and a horrible person, and we can all say, sure, do it, but that's not what stops him from doing it for someone who isn't.
Just some regular guy.
Yeah, who isn't guilty. And, people say that's not how it works. They've just never watched anything or paid any attention to anything.
Yeah, it's such a bad situation, really, that they even offered him that. And they're just like... Well, yeah, but illegal loophole. Not even loophole.
Because technically what they did was they...
What they technically did was
they tricked him tricked him out of his Fifth Amendment right of self-incriminating. Because he could have said, when they said, we want you to testify in the civil court, he could have been like, I plead the Fifth.
Yeah, he could have just said nothing.
And but
he spilled the truth.
Instead, they're like, if you don't plead and you talk to us, we won't do it. You're just going to lose money, basically. You're not going to go, we aren't going to do this criminal. And then another guy, and then that guy went on to go do something else. He was replaced, and then that guy's like, you know what I'm going to do? I didn't make that deal. And it's like, but your office made the deal. So that's the same thing. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't the same thing, then we should just let everyone out every time they change offices.
And that'd be bad.
Which would be bad.
That'd be very bad.
Although sometimes I wonder, like, what is the point of jail or prison time for a lot of crimes? Like, I understand, like, there's certain violent crimes and violent offenders who need to be off the street because they're dangerous.
Yeah, essentially restricting them from society.
But then there's like a certain amount. But then other than that, it's just like when it's not that and they're not like need to be away from other human beings. It's like, well, this is just a trumped up timeout.
Well, I guess that's where the conversation turns to. should those offenders, and we're basically referring to nonviolent offenders, should it be more about reform rather than what it's currently sits at, which is less or more punishment? Because like you said, it's like a timeout.
Like,
I mean, that's a very light way of putting imprisonment. But,
like example, like, and this is maybe just this is random example. Maybe it's not even a good one. But like, let's say you steal a car or whatever. No, you don't hurt anybody. No one's hurt. You're clearly not like you're probably not a psychopath who shouldn't be around people. Yeah, you got some issues. Yeah, but you're probably not deranged.
You're probably not going to go kill a mother and her son just because one day you felt like it.
And if you do, it's got nothing to do with
exactly. Yeah, it's listen. We were good. This was.
But then you say
you're
yourself,
nuts.
But then you say yourself, so like obviously you can't do that. So I don't know how you would punish the person. But at the same time, you're like, well, how is locking you up for 3 years helping or doing anything? How is a 3-year timeout helping anything?
All it's going to do is make him go, damn, I want to steal another car.
Or not even that, but it's like,
just sitting in there for 3 years just thinking about all them cars he's going to steal.
Oh, but not even that, but it's like, it definitely doesn't help it. I just don't see, I don't see how it helps the situation or how it really improves anything. You know, like, they're in jail now. It's like, well, thank goodness. Now it's like, I don't know, you know?
No, I get it.
It just seems like, I don't know, I guess there are people who steal them habitually, you know, and they sell them and everything. There's issues like that and everything. But like, and that's not saying that's the best example, but it just seems like sometimes it seems like a trumped up timeout. And I don't understand what the point, it's like, I understand the point of locking someone up and not letting them out. Yeah. I get that. It's fucked up, but I get that. But I don't understand like these weird, just like, you're going to be in here for
20 years,
16 and a half months. Unless you're really good, then we'll do 14 and a half months. And you're like, why? Okay. Why 16 months? You know, like, I don't know.
No, I get it. It's I don't know.
Do you think it'd be cheaper to force, instead of, like, with someone, like, not for everyone, but let's say a handful of criminals, do you think it'd be cheaper, not just in terms of in the short term of their prison time, but, like, in the long run for society? If not all of them, but like a handful of the nonviolent ones, you just instead of forcing them to be in this prison, you force them to go get like a college education, or force them to go get like some degree,
maybe build a skill,
or force them to do like,
you know, the guy that's a carjacker. Maybe they can be like, yo, you clearly like cars. What if we taught you like the proper way to make money off of this legally?
And even if they want to,
because y'all love that capitalism.
Even if they take the same idea of like, you know, like not the exact same idea, but they say, you know, of like they, you know, in some way of like, you know, they put him in a dorm room that's, you know, which is basically a prison, you know, and they want to guard it, so he's got to go every, you know, they got to make sure they have him escorted to class or whatever.
I think, you know? Many European, like, I'm not sure, I might get it wrong, but either like Switzerland, the Netherlands, like something in there, Sweden maybe, somewhere in there. I know that is kind of what they do. Like, it is kind of like a, you know, look, we're keeping an eye on you the whole damn time. But
I mean, and then like, I mean, think about this. Like, think about like, you got to go do 4 years in prison for nonviolent crime or whatever. You know, well, you know, who's gonna do, you know, 4 years in the prison or 4 years in a prison university?
Yeah, exactly. What are you gonna pick?
You know what I mean? In terms of when you're done with that, like, you know, I mean, if you come out of the prison, you know, even if you don't want to commit crimes again, you've got a felony on your record, which is ridiculous to begin with, that they still call you a felon after you serve your time. Yeah. You know, the only people who should be called felons are ones who've escaped prison. Yeah. Because they're still felons. If you've
served your sentence,
then you should no longer be considered it seems like it defeats the purpose. I also think, and maybe this is this is more fucked up, like kind of a joke, but at the same time, I kind of think just for sporting wise, I think it's fair. I think if you can break out of prison, you should be allowed to stay out.
That's your reward.
You know, if you want me in here, keep me in here. You know?
You clearly didn't care enough.
Yeah.
And I cared more about getting out than you did about keeping me in. So I should at least get my reward of freedom. Maybe not. Look, call me a felon then, but don't try to look for me.
Like I said, and you know, maybe I'm not the person to talk to about prison reform.
Maybe not.
I definitely, you know, I don't know. I definitely think for the sport of it, you know,
just for the good old jovial time to be had.
Could you imagine like meeting someone and like just like
and they're just like, yeah, I casually escaped prison.
Working with like, I mean, I think there'd be, I mean, not everyone, but I think there'd be a lot of people who, if they broke out, they wouldn't go commit more crimes.
Yeah, probably not, because that'd be an easy way to get caught and go back.
You know, that reminds me of the George Carlin had a joke about how he doesn't understand why people don't want prisons in their their cities or neighborhoods.
Mm-hmm.
You know, not in my backyard or whatever. He's like, why? Anyone who breaks out, they're not going to be hanging around checking real estate prices.
You're right.
And you think gangbangers are hanging out committing crimes in front of the prison?
No, that's a very good point. Yeah.
You know, safest place
funny.
to be. You know, but
yeah, they'd want to get the hell away. As far as they're on the bus to the next town, next state.
It's the town next to the prison. You know.
Yeah. Oh, you got to watch out there. Don't move there.
That's you ever see the show Prison Break?
No, I have not.
Solid first season.
Wasn't it like a British show and then it was an American show, but it starred the same guys?
I could see that.
I thought that's what happened.
I don't know. I don't recall there being a British one because I remember just when it was hyped up for the.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Oh.
No. When it was hyped up for it was on Fox and it was just like Fox Sunday was just like
Prison Break.
Promote out the ass. When I was watching.
Fox always does it during football. Whatever news show they got, holy shit. You remember
Prison
they
Break,
had that
Lie to
Almost
Me.
Human? I remember when it was premiering, it was like every ad during every game was just boot, boot, boot.
And then they'll do that, and then they'll have for at least when I was watching it, it was always 2 episodes of The Simpsons, followed by episode of Family Guy, followed by American Dad, followed by, and there was one other show. There was one other show that was always, and then it was followed by House, or Lie to Me, or Prison Break.
Yep.
It was one of those shows, but it was at the same
Terra
time.
Nova.
At the same time, now that I think about it, man, that's a great fucking lineup.
What? Which one?
Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad, and then any of those shows.
I don't know if I'd say great lineup.
I mean,
we're talking about modern Simpsons, Family Guy,
true.
modern.
Did I tell you what I think the Simpsons?
American Dad was actually pretty good.
Did I tell you what I think the Simpsons should have done?
What?
I think they should
ended.
Have better.
Okay.
Better than ending because they're never gonna.
No, I know that's not even a question anymore.
And they could have done this anytime. I would have said 10 years ago. Now they could start it anytime. Start aging the characters.
I
every
think that,
year. Go.
Well, no, because then they'd have to end it. They'd have an inevitable ending set out.
No, they wouldn't.
What do you mean?
Because it's a world.
You can't kill Homer.
They don't have to kill Homer.
Well, but if he's gonna age, eventually he's gonna be the age of his dad. So is his dad gonna be around still?
No, his dad will die.
But they can't kill him.
I mean, first off, they don't have. I mean,
I guess they could kill him if they wanted to.
They could kill him.
That'd be emotional.
That
and
would
a good
open
way
up
to get
story. Yeah, they open up more.
That'd be a good way to get people to watch.
I think it would open more storylines, but also, I mean,
I'm sold on the idea now.
They just sent
I'm
off.
back on. I'm back.
I mean, they just got rid of Apu, and the least they could do is kill Abe.
Yeah.
But or they could also, they could keep aging them. They could,
I get what you mean. It'd be just interesting to see, Bart go to high school, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, they've always done.
They do jump forward.
They've jumped ahead, but it's more isolated.
And it's always more it's not like that's the final ending spot. It's just kind of this is a little what if,
and also, let's say
whatever the humor we're going for.
And let's say, for the sake of argument, they start aging.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now they got an end date. How long?
Another
30 years, maybe?
40?
Bart's 10. So they start aging.
Yeah.
30, 40. And then he's only Homer's age around that or whatever,
Oh my God, make him have kids.
They could keep going.
They could.
And they could just
They're gonna.
And they could just recycle it too. What kind of son does Bart have? One that looks exactly like Homer.
Yeah.
That's not shocking at all. That's what every show fucking does.
Yeah, and then just have that kid grow up. Bart dies, and then it's Simpsons again. We're back at the beginning. And
it's all the same shit,
And they're not going to end the Simpsons ever.
You don't need to. You never see. They don't do that with cartoons. They don't age the cartoons.
No, there's some comic.
He's been in 4th grade long enough.
Yeah.
God damn it, he's.
Yes, no. South Park's fine. Aging.
They don't need to. South Park can do whatever they want.
Yeah.
South Park is just still gold.
South Park, it doesn't even matter that the kids are kids anymore.
Yeah, but South Park is fantastic.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want, and then Rick and Morty's on that track record too, where they're just everything they pump out is gold. I just watched the new one last night. Wasn't my favorite of the 3, but that's not really saying anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I enjoy all of them.
Yeah. It also comes down to like, I think like sometimes we can all get a little spoiled with like content where like people be like, wow, this episode was the worst of the 3. Like, yeah, dude, there's 3.
I've yet to see
like there's 3. What are you looking for?
Yeah, there's
like,
and not even saying
one of them's gonna be the worst, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like yeah, no. I was just like I was going through YouTube and it was just like this why this last episode just I'm like, get the fuck. It's like none of these episodes have been disappointing.
Yeah.
These are great episodes, every one of them. But we're running out of time. Well, this was great having you on, Horn.
Yeah, just
enjoyable. Do you have any announcements to make real quick about neutrals?
I just want to just reiterate, if anyone's still watching, that and if you missed it before, Rock the Shorts Film Festival on Shorts TV on July 29th. It will be at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7 p.m. Pacific Time. And yeah, Neutrals is going to air on TV, uncensored, I believe. So you'll be able to hear all the fucks and shits and dams.
Excellent.
But yep, that's if you haven't seen the movie, this is now like probably the widest like exposure you're probably gonna get. That'd be my guess. Nice. And because of it airing on this, like we're not gonna put it online for like we're not allowed to. Within the next 6 months.
Oh, wow. That's nice.
Which wasn't gonna anyway.
Still
Don't get your hopes up. But now we cannot.
This is your chance, people.
Yep.
Watch it.
All righty. Thanks, Brennan.
That was Booth Talk. So, it's like Jeopardy. You have to answer in the form of a question. Or in the form of an answer.
What are the 50s?
No, you say, when did people start putting hot seed in people's mouth? 1950s is my guess. Say that.